Okay. Testing, testing. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this talk this afternoon. Inside the Kimberley Process, understanding the World Diamond Council's integral role. So, as an introduction, my name is Dr. Adriana Lauren Traviati. I'm the founder of Saphira Diamonds in Melbourne and Saphira International in Singapore, and the founder of Nyamira Diamond Corporation, which is a new diamond mining entity in Western Australia, and a member of the World Diamond Council and Kimberley Process Task Force. I'm pleased to present to you today regarding the World Diamond Council's key role in the Kimberley Process and discuss how the KP works and why it is so important for the global diamond industry. Today, we'll be discussing the World Diamond Council and its global team, understanding the Kimberley Process, the WDC's role, and the continuous improvement of the KP through its modernisation, with a few minutes for questions at the end. So, about the World Diamond Council. The WDC is based in New York and was founded in 2000 with the purpose to combat conflict diamonds. The WDC is an international organisation that represents the entire natural diamond and jewellery value chain, including representatives from the diamond mining, manufacturing, trading and retail sectors, as well as industry service providers such as banks, carriers, tech companies or rough diamond valuers. The World Diamond Council is the voice of the global diamond industry and its first line of defence. So our major strength is in our diversity of our membership, and that membership hails from all sectors and represents all types of business in the natural industry, of all sizes. And this makes us the only diamond body globally where the entire supply chain is actually represented in full. This empowers us to play a critical role in defending the natural diamond industry's interests globally. So our mandate is clear and clearly defined. Our job is to protect the integrity of the natural diamond supply chain and grow consumer confidence in our product, to represent the interests of the diamond industry and voice its positions within the Kimberley Process, and develop self-regulation processes to further responsible sourcing, consumer confidence, and socio-economic development. Our commitment is unwavering as we negotiate on your behalf with governments and civil society, ensuring that every natural diamond tells a story of transparency and responsible sourcing. So the WDC speaks clearly and authoritatively on issues affecting our sector, all the while ensuring that every voice within its ranks is heard and considered, and strives forward in finding common ground that unites us all. The WDC develops coordinated actions that will benefit and strengthen the diamond industry through accountability and responsibility in the following key areas: to ensure responsible sourcing, increase consumer confidence, and to facilitate socioeconomic development. As the largest representative of organisation of the diamond industry as a whole, we have a proven capability of influencing and shaping policies that benefit the entire supply chain. The WDC unites participants in the supply chain committed to responsible sourcing and who believe that such principles enhance sustainable socio-economic development in the countries where they are active. Ethical diamond sourcing sustains the global attractiveness of our product. So this is our wonderful executive team, and our executive team consists of a diverse and skilled global team that are specialised industry experts that work tirelessly to protect the interests of the natural diamond industry and deliver on the World Diamond Council's mandate, which is led by our wonderful president, Fariel Zarouki, our vice president, Ronnie van der Linden, and Elodie Dagouzin, our executive director. So within the WDC, there is a specialised team known as the Kimberley Process Task Force. And the KPTF, as it's called, is a specialised team of individuals within the WDC and represent the most dedicated subcommittee. The KPTF is the key voice in shaping KP policies and practices and helps design practical solutions for key industry issues that affect the global diamond trade. We engage directly with governments and civil society, travel to KP gatherings twice a year, and develop unified positions to protect our industry's interests. So we are a highly specialised, devoted team of members. So these are some images of the KPTF and our president Zarouki on the left-hand side, and Ronnie van der Linden, our vice, and Elodie at the top there. And this represents the KPTF images from Zimbabwe, the plenary session in Zimbabwe in November, and then the recent intersessional in Dubai in May. So we all travel together, work together, and problem solve the KP together. It's a wonderful group of people. So as for the Kimberley process itself, so the KP is the international forum dedicated to eliminating conflict diamonds from the global trade. It was established in May in 2000 in Kimberley, South Africa, at a conference supported by the United Nations to address the problem of rough diamonds financing civil conflicts in Africa. The KP developed the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, which launched in January in 2003. It certifies the legitimate origin of rough diamonds so as to hold trait in conflict goods. Within just 5 years of its introduction, the incidence of conflict diamonds fell from approximately 4 to 5% to 0.02% of global production, which is testament to its sheer efficacy that can be deployed over multiple member countries and states. The KP includes 85 member states, is 24 years old, and continues to evolve through time to retain its effectiveness. Today, the KP includes 85 governments working in a tripartite coalition with observers from civil society, which represent non-government organisations, and the WDC, which represents the industry. Together, they work to formulate rules that regulate all imports and exports of rough diamonds. Each government will, in turn, develop their own border control and customs legislation. The Kimberley process is the foundation upon which our industry can operate. So obviously this is a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done within the KP. So we have 6 permanent working groups that KP members can be part of. And they consist of the following. So we have the working group on diamond experts, the working group on monitoring, the working group on statistics, the working group for artisanal and alluvial production, the committee on participation and chairmanship, and the committee on rules and procedures. And each of these subcommittees are designed to make sure that the Kimberley process is functioning correctly. So the last 2 are indicated in blue are those groups that I currently work within as a task force member. So to highlight how the KP is actually enforced, we have something called the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme, known as the KPCS. This was developed in 2003 and is an international certification scheme enforced by KP participating countries to ensure that rough diamonds moving through the legitimate chain of distribution are conflict-free. It safeguards the shipment of rough diamonds, both imports and exports, and certifies them as conflict-free by outlining the rules that govern the trade in rough diamonds based on the KP core document. The KP, via the certification scheme, created the first ever custom office dedicated to one product, diamonds. This is essentially like an extension of a regular customs office that just deals with the import and export of rough diamonds alone. This is a one-of-a-kind enterprise globally, never done before, never replicated, and is the baseline of diamond trading globally. The KPCS is the start of a diamond's journey. Without a Kimberley Process certificate, there is no route to market for any rough diamond, and hence zero trade in polished diamonds. Every polished diamond must have a Kimberley Process certificate from rough, or it will not enter the trade. And this is the sheer importance of this process for our global trade. So effectively, what is the Kimberley Process? It is a license to operate. It's a license to operate safely and ethically. The KP provides that essential license by certifying shipments as being conflict-free, ensuring that the 85 member states adhere to the minimum requirements and establish national legislation, commit to transparent practices and data sharing between member states, and trade only with fellow member countries who adhere to such requirements. So, with all of this in mind and a basic understanding of the KP, what is the WDC's role? So, the WDC holds observer status along with the civil society, and our job is to advise, bring information, data and expectations from the consumers' markets to protect the interests of our industry. We are the front line globally for the diamond industry. The WDC's primary objective is to collaborate with all of the participants and civil society towards the development and implementation of regulatory and voluntary systems to control the trade in rough diamonds covered by the KP. The World Diamond Council also provides technical and financial support, participating in all of the working groups, and engages in review visits to monitor that in participating countries that they are in fact compliant with the KP minimum requirements. So it is one thing to say that a country is compliant. The WDC is a major player in actually coming into those source countries, auditing them and ensuring through review visits that they are actually meeting those requirements ongoing. Now, here comes the tricky part of the KP and the importance of consensus. So, the Kimberley Process relies on all 85 countries achieving consensus on major issues and decisions that affect the entire KP. With such a broad range of member states, achieving consensus on sensitive matters concerning geopolitics and trade is not only challenging, but critical to the function of the KP and greater diamond industry altogether, so the stakes are quite high. The World Diamond Council within the KP is non-political, and our job is to help facilitate discussions, steer debates, and open the lines of communication between governments and the civil society coalition, and plays a vital function in mediating between those parties to ensure that the KP remains effective. So we play a very critical role in achieving consensus and being the mediators or the moderators between these key parties. Now, the Kimberley process is constantly evolving and changing and modernising. It's been functioning for 24 years, and as part of the dedication of the WDC and all members of the KP, we want to be continually modernising and evolving such that this important process can be preserved and continue to do the great work it has done for the last 24 years. So because the KP has been so highly effective in curbing the trade of conflict diamonds, there is a need now to strengthen it even further to reflect the changed landscape relevant to the challenges of today's world. Because today we are no longer talking solely about the nature of guerrilla warfare, the nature of rebel or mercenary group action. We must now look at conflict diamonds through a different lens of today's present challenges and present conflicts. As of January in 2023, the KP review and reform cycle began and involved the expansion on the definition of conflict diamonds. The WDC was called on by the Kimberley process to lead this important work and sub-team, and it is as it's a neutral agent and non-political in the international forum. And this work has been led by Kilema Foulé of the Kimberley Process Task Force as part of the WDC, and continues to be a focus to ensure that the KP is fit for purpose for years to come and can safeguard trade in the context of today's modern conflicts. The expansion of the definition of conflict diamonds lies at the very heart of what we do. Okay, so now we come to traceability and reporting. So in an ever-evolving landscape where provenance and traceability are at the forefront of global interests, at the recent intersessional in May in Dubai, the World Diamond Council reminded participating countries that it is their sovereign right to list the single or multiple countries of mining origin where they have evidence to support the claim, hence replacing the asterisk notation on the KP certificate by the names of said countries under the KPCS. This recommended action, supported by the vast majority of KP participants, will support transparency and provenance efforts, showcasing that the Kimberley process itself can actually evolve and strengthen itself as a global entity and as a means of tracing diamond origin. So finally, there are many reasons why, as you can see, this work is so important. We do a lot of work globally, and we have a wide variety and array of members from all over the world, from the retail, mine, midstream, and there's a few great reasons to consider joining our mission. So if you join the World Diamond Council, you'll help to lead the international diamond industry into the future. Together, we all make a significant impact, ensuring that every natural diamond continues to be a symbol of trust and excellence. And there are a few key reasons that give back to our members for this rewarding work. So you can engage with all sectors of the natural diamond industry, and it will broaden your perspective of the industry, while also demonstrating your personal commitment to continuous improvement and amplifying our global positive impact. You're also able to be part of the change and show leadership. As a WDC member, you lead from the front, engaging with peers on critical issues, taking proactive actions, elevating standards, and building a transparent supply chain. And then finally, you get to join our global community of leading fellow companies with which you can forge valuable connections and grow your business together. So I wanted to say thank you so much for your attention. If you do have any questions about the WDC or are perhaps interested in joining, or any questions about the Kimberley process, I will now take a few brief questions, or I look forward to discussing with you later. Thank you. All right, so did anyone